What's up, guys? I'm Mac.
I'm Jess, and today we're reviewing Nobody Wants This.
Coming up next. So Nobody Wants This is a new show on Netflix which is about an aspiring podcaster and influencer who begins a romantic relationship with a rabbi, and the story kind of dives into what the dynamics are like because obviously they're of different religions, how their families perceive it, and it kind of makes light of some modern day social issues that are going on. So what are your overall thoughts?
I thought that this show was just fine.
I had the same opinion.
Yeah, I think that like the first 4 episodes, I want to say, were really strong. I mean, I don't know about you, I watched this with a group of my girlfriends, and we were all sitting there and like audibly reacting to things, and like when they kissed for the first time, we were all like, oh my god, but it kind of fell apart at the end for me.
Yeah, so I just watched this alone, which is fine, but anyway. So the show stars 4 TV vets, and I think they all kind of bring their all to the part. So obviously, Kristen Bell, this is her first major TV role since The Good Place, and I think she kills it. This is like a really different role for her to play. I think that in the beginning, I was thinking this is kind of like Eleanor Shellstrop from The Good Place, but there's a lot more nuance to this character, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think that she definitely pulled, like, I could see elements pulled in from Eleanor Shellstrop because she's just Kristen Bell, but I thought she did great. I mean, she's great in everything.
Yeah.
And, everyone else, Justine Lupe, who I love.
Yeah, she's Willa in Succession, and this is a huge turnaround from what she's done. Obviously, that was a very dramatic and tragic role, but she's great in this too. I kind of rolled my eyes when I heard the plot because I don't really like plots about, like, a millennial culture. Like, when I heard that they were podcasters, I was like, ugh, like, this is not gonna be like up my alley. But they handled that surprisingly well, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was well written in a surprising way, I think. A lot of the conversations, especially between the 2 sisters, had a lot of opportunity to be poorly written.
Yeah.
And I think that they did it. Those are conversations, as I was watching, I was like, these are conversations I've had with my best friend. Like, this is how women speak to each other, and I think it was pretty well done, and I didn't expect it to be.
Yeah, and I think that their chemistry kind of sells the show, and kind of sells, like, how, I believe that they were passionate about, like, their podcast, and, like, they weren't just, like, doing it for the attention, And then we got to focus on the other 2. So obviously, Mr. Adam Brody is in this, and he's reuniting with the show's creator. She was in The OC, and I think he was great in this too. I think this is a very different part from what he's played in the past. And yeah, I know you want to talk a lot about him. But
I love Adam Brody.
Yeah.
I've had a crush on him since Jennifer's Body.
Fair enough.
I think I mean, he's great in everything he does, and I think that him and Kristen Bell had some really, really good chemistry in this. I mean, they, like I said, when they kissed for the first time, I was so excited.
It was electric, yeah.
It was electric, and it, like, the passion and the chemistry was really there for the first few episodes. I don't know about you, I wish there had been a sex scene in it.
Hey, there's a season 2 coming out.
There is a season 2.
So you never know. And then his brother, played by Timothy Simon. So I don't know if you've seen Veep, but he played one of my favorite TV characters ever in Veep, Jonah Ryan. And the purpose of Jonah Ryan was to be so, like, disgusting and unlikable, and it's almost the same character, but he has a spin on it where you want to root for the brother.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was like, I thought that was cool to, like, actually like a character that he's playing.
Yeah.
So the overall plot, as I said, it's a podcaster who talks a lot about, like, her sex life and, like, a lot of risque topics, and she's dating a rabbi. And obviously the politics behind that come into play in the show. And I talked a lot about this with my family. Obviously, we're Jewish, and, like, we kind of talked about how it was kind of raising awareness about, like, mutual respect for one another and things like that. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm also Jewish, so I'm not, rabbi Jewish.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not quite as in the culture as it, but I thought that it was very, I mean, again, well written. I think that a lot of the experiences there, I was like, yep, I get it, I understand. I thought the whole plot with the bat mitzvah was very funny.
I had like
theme.
flashbacks during
Yeah.
during that episode.
No, exactly. The whole theme being just the worst and her dress being the worst, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense. I don't know about you though, but I kind of want to get into the ending of it, because by the end of it, I didn't want them to be together.
I didn't either. I thought that's what it was going to lead to, and we will spoil this. So, in the end, they are kind of at odds because they have to choose kind of between what they want or to be together. So, Adam Brony's character has the opportunity to become head rabbi, and in order for that to happen, Kristen Bell's character would have to convert to Judaism, and that does not kind of align with their plans. So they call it off, but then at the end scene, they kind of come back together, and he and I don't want to believe that he's leaving behind like his faith, like his love for her. So, and I imagine they did that because they were planning on doing a season 2.
Yeah.
But I imagine if this was a mini series, it would have ended with them having to like realize that they were better off separate.
Exactly. And I do wonder how they're going to go about the second season, because it feels like it's just kind of going to be more of the same. I mean, what I kind of wish they had done was, I wish they had Kristen Bell's character a little more open to converting, and she, you know, she's like, I'm going to do it, and then she's like, no, I can't do it. And I wish they had explored that more, and I wish that it would have been cool to see her exploring more Jewish customs and traditions and holidays and all that, like, as someone outside of the culture. But, and I hope that's where they go with the second season, is with her learning more, and they go more into that. But yeah, I don't see how it's going to work out between them, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait for season 2, but it's about that time. So what would you give this? What's your rating for the show?
I would give this a solid 7. I thought that it started out strong. It's definitely worth a watch. But in the end, I was a little iffy about it.
Yeah. I'll give it a 7 too. I think that the writing at points is strong, and I think that there were definitely moments that made me laugh. But I think a lot of that was kind of based on like personal experience. Like I just would see a character and be like, oh, that matches this person in my life. And I think it's science fiction that a man would escape the ick. So have to knock it points for that. But I think, like you said, definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll see you next time on Review Crew.
Thanks for watching.